Donald Trump spent his entire weekend, starting Friday evening, having multiple different meltdowns about pretty much everything under the sun, which honestly at this point is typical. This is how Donald Trump spends his time. When he's not doing interviews, he's having meltdowns about literally everything at this point. The first meltdown came Friday night when he was talking at the Faith and Freedom Coalition Policy Conference in Washington, D.C., where he told the crowd of religious people, or faux religious people, their bastardized version of religion, he, the most anti-Christ person on planet Earth, told the crowd that all these democratic socialists out there are going to ban religion in the United States. Not get rid of, they're going to ban religion. These people who are running for just regular old House seats, okay? So 1 out of 435 people in the House, and somehow they're going to ban religion. But here is what Trump said. So I'm saving Christians throughout the world, even though we are not in those various countries where you read about this. But they'd like to make our country just like those countries. That's where they started. They started right where we are right now. But I'm saving them by hitting these terrorists very violently and very hard. I'm going to stop right there. When I say he's anti-Christ, I don't necessarily mean he's the Antichrist. Could be. But he is just the opposite of Jesus Christ and Christ's teachings. He's like, we're hitting them very violently and very hard. Just like Jesus did. Right? Do we need to bring back the what would Jesus do bracelets? But he continues. We know where they are. We hunt them down or we take them out. Think of it, they go into a village and they just kill everybody. It's like crazy. Cool, so now we're going into Trump's Valley Girl era. It's like crazy. I mean, they're just going in and like killing everybody. Like, what the heck? Like, could you not? They will close your churches in this country. They go communist and they're trying to. They will kill your people. And that's what they're about. They want to end religion. They have to end religion because their ideology doesn't work if you have strong religion. You know what? We're gonna stop right there. I'm not gonna read the rest of it. There's still 2 more paragraphs. The people, right? These democratic socialists, the ones who want to, feed the poor and welcome the immigrant. They want to end religion because their ideology doesn't fit with a religion. Their ideology is literally Christianity. They may not call it that, right? They obviously don't. They may not even go to church. I don't know. I don't care. But their ideology, the socialistic ideology, is literally the teachings of Jesus Christ from the New Testament. That's what it is. Take care of the less fortunate. Do unto others. Be a good human being. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, the man who has cheated on every wife he's ever had, the man who was in the Epstein files more than Jeffrey Epstein himself, basically, the man who has been accused by more than 4 dozen women of different forms of sexual assault and sexual harassment, the man who was found liable for a sexual assault in civil court against E. Jean Carroll, is standing up on stage in front of a group of people who have no idea what religion's actually about. And they're clapping like, yeah, he's right. This is the real thing. Right? Bah, bah, sheep. How's it going to feel with that mark of the beast on your forehead? Because that's where you're all headed. Not a single person that was present in that room, assuming religion is real and the afterlife does exist, not one of you will ever get close to those pearly gates that you think you are guaranteed a free pass to walk through. Nope. I imagine where you all will end up is going to be rather warm. So try to dress appropriately. But that, of course, was not the only meltdown that Donald Trump had over the weekend. He also took some time to trash Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan's new book that, of course, has revealed many shocking details about his first year back in office. So Trump got on Truth Social having another meltdown and said this: based on a very quick and boring briefing concerning the Maggie Haberman book about me, it is mostly made up, fake news, largely fiction, as have been most of the things she has written about me for so many years. She is a third-rate writer and intellect who has made a first-rate income because of your favorite president, me. Now, I'm going to stop right there. So she's been doing this for years, right? That's what Trump says. Like, she's just been making shit up about him for years. Yet, anytime she calls him, he immediately picks up the phone. He hates her, right? You're dumb. You're a bad writer. You make things up and you lie all the time. Oh, hang on. Maggie Haberman's calling me. I have to take this. Maggie Haberman's calling me. Hey, Maggie, would you like to know every single thing happening in my administration today? Because that's what he does. She's allowed in the White House as much as she wants to be. She can talk to everybody. She is literally known in those circles in D.C. as, quote, the Trump whisperer. Because he is always willing to talk to her and tell her everything. Yet, it's all been made up, right? He continues. She was wrong about me on the elections, although she knew I was going to win big. She was wrong about me on the Russia hoax, and she was wrong about me on just about everything else, but she continues to spew out garbage, and people continue to buy it. And they don't have the audio tapes that they imply they have, just another Margot con job. And Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. Okay, because that's relevant to that conversation. You know what he didn't do? It's not always the words he says. Sometimes we have to pay attention to the things Donald Trump doesn't say. He didn't say, I'm going to file a lawsuit. Did he? No. Now, he threatens to sue everybody, even when, of course, they are telling the truth, obviously. But the reason Donald Trump threatens everybody else with lawsuits is because he thinks they're not going to be able to produce the receipts, or they're not going to want to put up a fight and they'll just settle with me. But he didn't even threaten Haberman and Swan with a lawsuit. Why? Well, he gave up the game in that last little paragraph. They don't have the tapes they imply to have. They didn't imply that they had them. They specifically said we have them. Okay? There's a difference between an implication and a statement of fact. Like, I imply that you're a criminal, but it's also a statement of fact that you're a criminal. So that's probably not a good example. Either way, he's not threatening to sue because the second he does, she'll release it all. And he knows that. So just something for everybody to keep in mind next time Donald Trump goes out there and tries to say that Maggie Haberman is lying to you, and always lies to you. She's pretty much the one person he has never threatened to sue, and that says a lot. Oh, Sunny Delight says Democrats are pedophiles. Oh, boy. Really? At the hill you want to die on? That's really what you came to this chat, right? You saw the title of it. You saw the thumbnail. This is obviously not for you, okay? And you decide to come here, waste a part of your day, a part of your life, to defend the pedophiles in this government by trying to redirect us and say that it's the Democrats. Do me a favor, dipshit. I want you to look up how many Republican officials, Republican politicians, Republican leaders. I want you to look up for me because I've covered all the stories when they happen. I make sure to talk about each and every one. Over the last 5 years, how many Republicans have been arrested for soliciting children? The number will shock you. And then I want you to compare it to the number of Democratic officials and Democratic politicians and Democratic operatives and leaders that have been arrested for it. Okay? Get back to me after you do that research. But also, get a fucking life. If there's a thing you don't like, get this, folks. I know this is a weird concept. If there's a thing you don't like, guess what? You don't have to participate, okay? Unless it's, your job. Yeah, nobody likes their job. You got to go do your job. But like if there's a show, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, regular TV, if there's a thing you don't like on a topic you don't want to hear about, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to listen to it. We do still, Republicans a little less because they're stupid, have free will. Okay? So don't waste part of your life on things that just piss you off that you hate. That's just very, very dumb. And it shows how stupid you are as a human being too. I want to take a moment to tell you about a wonderful new book that is out, Be Like Trump by John Evans. And yes, I wrote the afterword for this book. Now, Be Like Trump is a wonderful little story that essentially puts things into a better perspective for Americans. Whether you love Trump, whether you hate Trump, it doesn't matter. This book takes real things Donald Trump has done and shows people what it would be like if Trump had done those horrible things to them personally. Would that change your opinion of him? And that is what a lot of MAGA does need to realize. This book is not an attack on Trump. It is putting his actions into a better perspective for the public. And it also does so in a humorous way, which I absolutely love. The book is available on Amazon. Of course, we will have a link in the description of our video, so follow that, check it out. It's available both in paperback and Kindle edition. This is a must-read for anyone who, one, may have forgotten some of the horrible things that Donald Trump has done over the years, and two, for anyone who thinks to themselves, yeah, he's done horrible things, but he's this far-off figure, and those things really don't affect me. Read the book, and then tell me after that if you don't think these things affect you.